Simona, I'm sure that you see a lot of this in the public schools. You have this amazing program where you're trying to bring classical music to the public schools.
I started a concert series at two schools, two elementary schools, one in Park Slope, which is a very affluent community where my husband teaches in this school, and the other in a school in the Lower East Side in Manhattan, which is a community that is really quite needy. I think the Department of Education has a responsibility to figure out how to get more funding to the schools that really need it. I mean, I love PS 321. I sent my child there in Park Slope, but really they don't need as much money as PS 142 in Manhattan. And these children are so bright. I mean, recently I played for them, and the questions that they asked were so interesting and intelligent and observant, and it shows that their teachers are showing them how to think and how to ask questions. And they should have all of the same privileges, if they did, in their schools, have everything that the other schools had. I think that would give them so much of a better chance of doing well in middle school and in high school and then going to college.
Sure, unfortunately that's falling to the private sector, and it's, there aren't that many correctives for it. I mean, at Donors Choose, I'm sure you've heard of that. This is an unbelievable charity where individual teachers can post individual projects and people can fund them. And then it's micro giving where you can, at least you can know you're making something happen rather than sending off a check to a big organization. But these are the things that, like, when you know that there's something like Donors Choose, which is great, filling in some of the gaps, then there's this assumption that the private sector will be able to come in and do that, and that's where, again, you see these inequities.
Exactly, and I think, the experience, I'm also a Donors Choose advocate, and one day I received an email from them that asked me to donate to a classroom in Brooklyn where they didn't have tissues for the children, and the children were all getting sick. And they wanted tissues and Purell and other ways that the kids could keep themselves healthy in the winter. The same day I received, or maybe it was the next day, but it was an amazing close proximity, a development request from my alma mater, the Horace Mann School, that I believe was like, for gold plating the sinks or something like that. And I just felt like, as a parent and as a Jew and as a spiritual leader, like, this world is so broken. Like, this is unacceptable. It's unacceptable for those kids who need me to donate tissues to their classrooms. It's unacceptable that other children are living in such an economic bubble. It's bananas. And at some point,
as bananas. Good.
As a Jewish community, like, we have a big prophetic story to tell that is about how unacceptable this is, and that we do not want any of our children, poor, middle class, or wealthy, growing up in a world where children have such stark differences in what their expectations are.